All right, finding Liani for us. There she is. 1 second, Chicky. And we will remove me. Perfect. And Liani, are you unmuted? Perfect. All right.
I think so. Let me check. Yes, I'm unmuted. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Liani, also known as Liani Back to Old School. I joined Thermomix because I really wanted, well, I had a dream to be self-sustainable and to be able to have garden to table, be able to know what goes in my food, make everything from scratch. And so Thermomix was the perfect thing for me. So I joined on Earn, and now I am loving being a consultant, helping changing people's lives every day. So that is really satisfying for me. So today I am doing caramelized red onion chutney. So I'm very excited to show you guys how to do this. So shall we start? Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Start cooking. So I've got 25 grams, so it's here, 25 grams of olive oil. So I've just pre-measured everything. So that's going in the bowl. Next up is 500 grams of red onions cut into wedges. So there you go, just cut into wedges. So like an 1/8 of, and they're pretty big, these ones. So I'm just going to chuck that in. Nearly 500 grams. Okay. And then we are going to put on the splash guard. So that's going to cook away for us. The oil and the onions is going to cook away for 20 minutes. All right. So I'll see you after 20 minutes.
Perfect. And Liani, before we leave from you, so what's been the most exciting dish you've made with your Thermomix?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. I've liked everything I've made. Oh, exciting dish. Oh gosh, Tamara, you put me on the spot.
Or just a dish that you've made and gone, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've actually made that myself.
Oh well, I made a South African dish, malva pudding. And that's a traditional South African dessert, and I've always wanted to make one, and I was really stoked that I could finally make it in the Thermomix. So that's probably something maybe that awesome. I absolutely love. And yeah, it's a old school South African dish, so yeah, I was able to do it in the Thermomix.
I love that. All right, so thanks, Liani. We're going to check in back with you in about 20 minutes, and we're going to move up to the very far north to Kerry for our next person. Hold on a second. How do I do this? Yeah, okay. Where is she? Wrong one.
I'm here.
This one. Okay, here we go.
Yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Hi, good evening. My name's Inky. I'm based in Kerry in the Bay of Islands. I'm team leader for Northland, and a mother of 3, happily married to my husband, living the Kiwi dream with my Thermomix. I absolutely love my Thermomix. I had my machine for over 8 years before I became a consultant, so I think that says enough. Yeah, I just love my machine and use it all the time. Tonight we are going to be making candied almonds. So let's get started. Start cooking. Okay. So it wants 100 grams of caster sugar. I was out of caster sugar, so I made my own in the Thermomix, which is really good because often when you buy these milled sugars and stuff, there are anti-caking agents in them that have really nasty ingredients that I really don't want to be feeding my family. So this is just raw sugar, and I blitzed it for 2 seconds, and I now have caster sugar. So we need 100 grams of caster sugar. I just love how the Thermomix weighs everything for you as you go along. 50 grams of water. What do you know? I don't have my water.
So, and what else do you have on your Thermomix that can measure for you as well, other than the scales?
What do you mean? Hang on, I'm focusing. Hang on a sec.
Sorry, team. So it's the measuring cup on top of your Thermomix actually has a 50 and a 100 ml increment, so you can use that to measure too.
Yeah. Okay, so now it wants me to put the splash guard on top of the mixing bowl lid. So your Thermomix isn't going to work without the lid, okay? That you're always using that. And this is the splash guard, which we use when we're cooking at a really high heat. And we're going to start cooking. We're going to caramelize the sugar for 4 minutes at the maximum temperature, and it's going to kick in. The time of the 4 minutes is going to kick in once the Thermomix is heated to the right temperature. So what I found really interesting is that I want to share with you is that there are 7 stages of sugar syrup cooking. And so depending on the heat of the sugar, between 102 and 154 degrees Celsius, you're going to have 7 different stages. So there's the thread where you can, it's like a syrup and you can get it and spin it around and make like a little nest. The soft ball, a firm ball, a hard ball, the soft crack and the hard crack. So there's so many things that you can do with sugar. It can be a real fun ingredient to use. And yeah, Christmas is the best time of year to be doing that, I suppose. I don't use a lot of sugar in my daily life because I just don't think it's good for my children. But for special occasions and stuff like that, I obviously do use it. And I try to use organic when possible.
That's awesome, Inky. And I love the fact that you can make all your different sugar work in your machine now, and it's nice and safe. I don't know if anyone else has tried to make honeycomb from scratch and it's either boiled over, they've burnt themselves, or they've ruined a pot, or they've tried to pour it down the sink and clog the sink. Like, there's so many variables of what can go wrong when you're working with sugar. So by being able to do it nice and safe in the machine and get those perfect results, it's just amazing. So awesome. So Ink, we're going to leave you there for about 4 minutes, I think, and we're going to go over to another nut dish for tonight. We're going to go and find Shanaz. Here she is. Okay, Miss Shanaz.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I don't know if you can see my face and you can see my Thermomix. I have been a Thermomix consultant for the last 5 years, and I am very, very happy investing in this because I just love cooking, and this has made me cook more and more and more. In fact, my husband always tells me, I think you should be having a bed next to the Thermomix. So that could be the next option, because I have, like just today itself, I did 6 things because I'm preparing gifts for the Christmas. So this is one gift that I've already made 3-4 lots, and I'm doing it again because I still have to pack up quite a few packets to be done. So I'm going to do the jalapeno lime and coconut cashews. I didn't find the jalapeno salt in Auckland, so I have just skipped it. But I read on Google that you can substitute it for cayenne pepper, but cayenne pepper is too hot for my family, so we have just skipped it. Okay, so I'm going to start cooking. Yeah, preheat oven, which I've already done. And then it says line a large baking tray with baking paper. So we don't use baking paper in Thermomix, isn't it? We use these mats, which we get as a host reward, or you can buy it off the mix shop. Many people have taken advantage of the cyber sales, which was on till Monday, 28th. So they are really good mats. You don't need to waste money on your baking paper. And then the next step is 60 grams of orange blossom or plain honey. Orange blossom honey or plain honey. Now, because it is liquid honey, I have not pre-weighed and kept it, because otherwise it runs less while we are making it. So I'm just going to tear my screen and I'm going to put 60 grams of honey. Goes very quickly. So the honey in the nuts will stick the spices to it. There you go. It's a little extra, but that should be not a problem. And then add 30 grams of coconut oil. If you add 1 or 2 grams more, please don't panic. 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. We like them a little salty, so I'm going to be generous and add 1/2 teaspoon of the sea salt. And then the next step is 3 teaspoons of dried chili flakes. Once again, we don't like too very hot, so I've added 2 teaspoons of chili flakes. And then 4 teaspoons of jalapeno chili flakes. If anybody knows where you get these, please definitely let us know, because I would really like to know where it is available, but I didn't find it anywhere in Auckland. So, and insert measuring cup. So we just insert the measuring cup and you. The next step is turn speed to spoon, because the oil and the honey and the spices are just going to cook or mix for 3 minutes. So while this is cooking, I can tell you what all I am making for Christmas gifts. I don't know if you are one of them on my list, but anyways, that is a different question. And I have made the peach and mango chutney, which is my favorite, one of my favorite chutneys. And using the same recipe on Cookidoo, I'm just going to make a green apple and a red apple chutney. So just follow the recipe and just instead of the peaches and mango, add the green apple and the red apple to it. And then I have also made peri peri spice, which also goes as another gift in my basket, and then condensed milk. So heaps of things you can make and give it. Condensed milk, if you give, make sure you write, please put it in the fridge. And there are lovely bottles available in the Look Sharp shop. So you can either do this, or you can go to warehouse, or there is a nice one pack to stop shop. And you can get lots of good packing items over there with ribbons and labels and all sorts of things. So I was very fascinated by the shop. So while this is cooking, Tamara, if you would like to talk about something else.
Absolutely. We're going to go back to Inky because her caramelized syrup is done. So I'm going to see where she's at. Here we are.
Okay, so it says caution, content is very hot. So we've got the syrup here. Can you see that? So that's turned into a caramelized syrup, and you have to work quite quickly with this recipe. It wants 200 grams of toasted almond nuts, which I just toasted earlier on, and they are going in here. And instead of the splash guard, we're adding the measuring cup into it. And for 35 seconds on mixing speed, we're just mixing the almonds and the sugar syrup together so that they get coated really nicely. And then I'm going to pop them onto a plate and just let them cool down. And then once they've cooled down, I will pop them into a gift jar.
Amazing. And could you do this recipe with other nuts or anything, for example?
Absolutely. So you can use any kind of nuts you've got. So if you've got mixed nuts or something, go do that. Do toast them beforehand though. All right, hang on. I'm just going to do this. It's stopped. It's ready. Transfer onto serving plates. So that's what it looks like. And
delicious.
It is a bit sticky. But yeah, you can add other kind of spices as well to it if you wanted to. So you know, think of your Christmas flavors, your cinnamon and cardamom would be really nice as well. Chili, if you wanted to, you could make savory ones. Yeah, so it is up in there a bit. We go.
Even just a good pinch of salt, like flaky sea salt in there, so you got your salty and your sweet, would be really yummy too.
Really yummy. Look, and this is what it looks like.
Oh, so they almost go quite frosty on the outside, so it's almost like
They do. They're like coated in sweetness.
Delicious. Well, thank you so much for showing us those. Are you
so good, so good. That's Christmas in my mouth right there.
Are you doing anything else special for Christmas with your family with your Thermomix?
I have made a chai tea powder. The recipe's on Cookie Dough. I have left the milk powder out of this recipe because I want everybody to be able to drink this when they want to. So what I say is just add a teaspoon or however much you want to your desired milk. So whether that's a plant-based milk or dairy milk, just add this to it. It smells amazing. And I made 3 batches in the Thermomix in one go because I didn't add the milk powder to it. So I've got 3 big jars like this.
Wow. And what a great gift too, because it can be quite expensive to go buy chai tea or chai powder at the shops as well. So just being able to fully adapt it and make it available for anyone else in their dietaries is fantastic. Thank you so much. We're going to go back to Shanaz and see how she's going with her nuts.
Yeah, so my chili flakes and my honey and my coconut oil has all got together. I don't know if y'all can see it. So it has all got blended together. And the next step is 60 grams of desiccated coconut. Just a tip, my friends, that whenever we remove the bowl, make sure you tear your Thermomix. Don't, otherwise it will go. You'll get some crazy numbers on it. So make sure you always tear your recipes if you have touched the bowl or removed the lid. So I'm going to put 60 grams of desiccated coconut and make sure we don't put it on the blade, just ram the bowl. And then 500 grams of raw cashew nuts. So these are the raw cashew nuts, not toasted, raw cashew nuts, because we are going to bake them in the oven. And I also tried air frying them. How's that, friends? Instead of baking them, I tried air frying, and my family loved both the recipe. And they said, "Oh, Mom," my daughter said, "Oh, Mom, I think the air fried one tastes better." But my husband said the baked one tastes better. So there is always a difference of people's opinion. So we do what we like. And then I put the 500 grams of cashew nuts and 2 limes, flesh, finely grated, zest only. Make sure you all don't add the juice to it, otherwise the nuts can go soft. So I'm just going to add the lime zest. Fortunately, I had limes on my tree, so I don't have to go and buy them. And then
so sorry, hon, we just got a question. Could you use different nuts like almonds or peanuts for this recipe as well?
I wouldn't use peanuts because peanuts are too small and they tend to break. But I have done it with mixed nuts, and I have done it with almonds and macadamia nuts also. So they taste very nice.
Beautiful. Yeah. So you can fully adapt it to whatever flavor you want to do as well. That's great.
And just next, and it's going to mix for 1 minute and 30 seconds on speed 1.
Perfect. We're going to jump back to Inky because she's actually reminded me there's a very special feature of doing this recipe as well.
Okay, so I've transferred the sugar-coated almonds onto the plate, and there's another step to this recipe. It is asking for 1,000 grams of water. So as you can see, the bottom of my Thermomix has hard coated sugar all through it, yeah? So fill it up to the 1 litre mark, adding 15 grams of white vinegar, and then we are going to clean it on this mode. I forgot to put water in it, hang on.
So while Inky's filling that up, I'll just give everyone a quick reminder. There's actually that new short pre-clean mode that's been added to your Thermomix if you haven't quite noticed it yet. So instead of doing an 8-minute clean, you've got an option of about a 2.5-minute clean now, which is great if you just need a quick rinse.
So 15 grams of vinegar is being added to that water, And we are going to turn this on. So you've got dough, universal, fat or caramel or browning options. We're going to go fat or caramel. And that is going to do the pre-clean for approximately 8 minutes. And then when that's done, all I need to do is rinse my Thermomix out with some hot water, and it is clean. So that is awesome.
I love that, and so much safer than tipping hot sugar down the sink, which you should never do, team, because it will set and you'll need to chip it out with a chisel. So really great that the Thermomix recipe actually asks you to do that pre-clean at the end of doing your recipe too. Awesome, thanks Inky. We're going to jump back to Shanaz and she's going to finish us off.
Yeah, so these are the cashews that I've got mixed with the honey and the lime. They smell really delicious. And the next step is just spread them on the tray, which I showed you all in the beginning. And then just leave it, sorry, I missed a step. Spread them on the baking tray and then bake it for 10 to 15 minutes. But please make sure you don't put it 10 to 15 minutes at a stretch. It has to be put on 5 minutes, give it a mix, another 5 minutes, and give it a mix, and 5 minutes. And don't do the mistake of leaving the tray in the oven like I did the first time, because I got burnt cashews. So please, friends, make sure that you remove the oven baking tray instantly as you finish your baking. So I will be ready to show off my dish after the other consultants have finished their dishes. It takes 15 minutes.
We'll come back to you at the end, Shanaz. And yeah, so heartbreaking when you've done a full tray of almonds or cashews or something, because it's so expensive, and then left them too long in the oven and they've burnt. So I totally understand that. So we're going to cross over now to our handsome Southwestern team leader, Mr. Simon Julius. Welcome.
Well, that's no pressure. Oh, goodness. Kia ora, everybody. Hey, my name's Simon. As Tamara said, I'm a team leader based out in West Auckland. I've been in the business about 2.5 years now, and a team leader for just over 1. And Tamara is right. It's just the best business to be in. You get to do you get to meet lots of fun people. You get to make delicious food. It's just great fun. So if you are thinking about joining us, Tamara will tell you a bit about Earn4 later, but come on board, come and join us. It's so much fun. But yeah, so what I'm doing for you guys tonight is one of my Christmas favorites, and it's actually a chocolate bark. So the recipe is the chocolate and anise fruit bark. There are quite a few fruit bark, different varieties in the Thermomix, but this has to be my favorite. So here we go. Start cooking. So it's asking me to grease and line a baking tray, which I've already done. And if you haven't worked it out already, there is so much chocolate in this. It is just divine. It is so, so good. Okay, it's asking me to place in 10 grams of anise seeds. Now, I always thought anise and star anise were the same, but they are not. And I had to go to a health food shop to find my anise seeds, so in they go. Next. Now, this is actually a tip that I learned from the lovely Shanaz, is that when you are milling things, as you are aware, the measuring cup sits a little bit high. So what you do is you get a paper towel, put it on the lid, and then you put your measuring cup in. So it's just like that. And what that means is that when you're milling your spice down, you don't get little bits thrown up between the gap between the lid and the measuring cup. So we're going to do 2 quick mills for this, for the anise seeds, and the first one's going to take 20 seconds at speed number 9. Here we go.
So Simon's going to get muted now because his Thermomix is blasting off and going into hyperspeed. So yes, I talked a little bit into Earn4. So that's our latest offer at the moment, to come and join the business and earn your machine. So with 4 sales in 60 days, you can get another Thermomix on your bench, all on your bench, ready to go. We put you through all the training, you get all that support, and you get another Thermomix if that's what you want to do. If you want to earn another machine for a family member at Christmas time, it's a really great time to start. So we can talk more into that, or your consultant, go find your consultant and ask and get curious. Hey, what is this Earn4 and how do I get involved?
Absolutely. So I've done my first mill of my anise seeds. They're a very rough chop at the moment, so I'm just going to use my pastry brush, and I'm just going to use it to brush the bits of seeds that are thrown up against the side of the bowl. I'm going to push it back down again. Nice and easy. Pastry brushes are great for dealing with dry ingredients, guys, if you haven't worked that out already. Okay, so they're all down towards the blade again. And now we're just going to go ahead and do a second chop for another 20 seconds at speed number 9.
Cool. So I'll use this time again to tell you of our other great offers. So we've actually got 36 months interest free still available to get into the machine, or if you're not an owner, you can get your machine on 36 months interest free. It's normally 24 months, but you've got until the 12th of December to take full advantage of this offer. And any purchase of a Thermomix until the 12th of December or until stock lasts, you'll get another bowl for $29. So it's a great time to purchase.
And there's nothing handier than a second bowl, eh, Tamara?
I have 3, so having one is just unimaginable. I know Claire's got 4. She's a bit obsessive though, so definitely if you can have 2, you should have 2.
Okay, so I've got my nicely milled anise seeds here, and what I'm going to do is just now put them into a small bowl. So again, using my pastry brush, because it's the best way to get out your dry ingredients. Just gonna put it. Gosh, this smells so yummy. Oh, yum. You know how you smell things and you get memories? Well, this just reminds me of chocolate now, and it's just amazing. So cool. Okay, so that's my anise nicely milled down to a powder. And the next step is asking me to add 70 grams of dried cherries or dried cranberries. I can't find dried cherries, so I'm doing cranberries. And they go. They're all pre-weighed. And 70 grams of dried apricots. So in they go. I always add a little bit more because I just really like cranberries and apricots. And on goes the lid. And this is going to chop for 3 seconds at speed number 7.
Awesome. So I want you guys to pop in the chat box. What sort of things are going to be on your Christmas table this year? And are you making anything yourself to give to your friends and family in your Thermomix?
Oh, look at that, guys. How easy was that? So I'm now putting my chopped cranberries and apricots in a little bowl, just like this. Yum. One thing I love about this dish, it's so colourful. It's got all those beautiful, bright colours that you come to expect of Christmas. Okay, so next of all, it's asking me for 70 grams of roasted cashew nuts, and they go in. On goes the lid, and for 5 seconds, we're going to chop at speed number 4.
That's so quick, Si. So how long would that take you to hand chop everything, and how dangerous is that as well?
What was that?
How long would that take you to cut all of that, and also how dangerous is it to do that as well?
I tell you what, chopping is one of my favorite things. Garlic, ginger, onion. Yeah, it's just so easy. It's crazy. Okay, so I'll just come up to the camera and show you what I've roughly got left here with. But what I've got here is my lovely ingredients. They're kind of roughly chopped, so you're not talking like a fine chop, and it means that when you're eating your chocolate, you actually get big bites of the flavors coming through. Alrighty, so talking of a second bowl, Tamara, the recipe is asking me to wash and dry a bowl, but I'm just going to swap it out with my second bowl. And that goes, and it's asking me to add in 400 grams of dark chocolate. So, and that goes. I normally use 70% dark cocoa for this recipe. However, this one is a variety of chocolate bars. I think I've got a 95 and 80, and I think there's a couple of 70s in there. So it's a real mixture.
And into this, you could use whatever other chocolate you have. Like if you want to do a milk chocolate or a white chocolate, it would still kind of work the same.
Absolutely. Yep. I prefer a dark chocolate. I think a dark chocolate's so much, it goes really well with the flavors in the bowl. You get that rich sort of decadent flavor.
Totally.
So it's asking me to add 1 teaspoon of my freshly ground anise. So that is going into my chocolate. And this is now going to go for 7 minutes at 50 degrees. at speed 1. So what we're going to do is just melt that chocolate down. All yours, Tamara.
Perfect. And I love that we can melt our chocolate in our machine because, you know, how many people have tried to do it in their microwave and burnt it over a bain-marie and they've got water in it and it's just a disaster. So having that
And sore arms.
Totally. And just way too hard basket. Too many dishes. Keep it all in the bowl. Nice and easy. I'm going to jump back to Inky quickly and we're going to check on her bowl.
All right, so it did the clean. And there's no sugar stuck to the bottom, and I can just tip that down the sink and rinse the mixing bowl and let the almonds cool completely before serving.
And how many almonds are left in the bowl that you've made, Inky?
Well, I've saved some because I want to show you how I'm going to present them, how I'm going to gift them, but the others have gone to the living room with the family.
Okay, so you have shared some. That's awesome. Well done, Tricky.
I have.
I'm going to try and find Liani quickly, and we're going to go check where she's at with her chutney. 1 second. Perfect. Here we go. Just unmute yourself, Chicky.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. Well, I've just moved on to the next step because it's quite a long process. So I've just thrown in some red wine vinegar, salt, some red chilies, only half a one. And what do I have in here? Oh, sugar. And so I put the machine on. I got a tip from Tamara to get these are perfect for gifts. You get them from Kmart. They're $7 for 8. You can see it's like 120 mils. And I'm actually going to do quite a few of these. So I put them in the varoma to sterilize while the chutney is being made. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's a great tip being able to do that.
Yeah, so the bowl is going at the moment. All of that's obviously caramelizing with the sugar. Another 18.5 minutes to go, and then these little glass jars are sterilizing on the top in the varoma. I've opened it up because it's a lot of steam, so I just thought I'd release the steam to get out. Don't want anything to happen.
I love how you can
so that's where we're at the moment.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Liani. I love how you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone and sterilize your jars as well as make your dish as well. So we're going to head over to Lauren, our lovely Lauren, and we'll see what she's up to.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone tonight? I'm going to show you how to make a little cranberry and pistachio cookie gift jar. So I'm a team leader here in Auckland, and I have been with Thermomix School for about 18 months now, and I love to cook from scratch and know what's in my food, but I was getting a little bit resentful about the amount of time it took in the kitchen, so I jumped in on the Earn program to earn my machine, and I'm still here now, loving the community and being a part of all the things that we do together. We're very lucky. So let's get into the gift giving. First up, we're going to need something nice to present it in. So I have got these little jars. These 2 are from Kmart. If you had a jar the right size at home in cupboard, then you can use that and just pop a little ribbon on it. So I'm going to place that on top, and then we will go through the recipe. So first of all, we've got some rolled oats, and we will pop them in here. I was actually thinking I should have put my, who's got the jam funnel, because this would be perfect for that.
I love my jam funnel. I use it all the time.
Yes. There we go. So much better, not spilling it now. So we're doing that, and then we're putting in some flour. Just going to even out the oats in the jar. So next up is plain flour. If you were wheat-free, you could swap it out to gluten-free flour. I'll put that all in there. And then again, I will just even it out. Next up is some sugar. In this recipe, it actually asks us to do some light brown sugar and then some white sugar, so you get the definition of colour. I've only got one type of sugar, so that's what I'm using. You could use, yeah, coconut sugar if you wanted to, or monk fruit, whatever you prefer. So now the jar is getting pretty full, so I am going to pack it down a little bit, just to get some more room into the jar.
I've just seen a comment in here about using your lid as a funnel as well. So you can totally use your Thermomix lid to do that. But because we're weighing on the machine, we're going to need that lid in place. So great tip, guys.
Okay, next up we're adding some cranberries. Apricots also work nicely and they give a good mix of colours with the red and the orange. So pop them in. And I'm going to pat that down again. And then we've got pistachios. We're getting pretty full in there. I'm going to use a little bit more muscle.
So how many biscuits does this amount of cookie mix make, Lauren?
It makes a good amount because you need 3 trays.
Oh, wow.
To line with the baking paper. So I actually did these as gifts last year and I got rave reviews. It is a really delicious cookie recipe because it has a really nice bite and mix of flavours. Now in here I've got some sea salt, some cinnamon and some nutmeg, so I'm going to sprinkle that on top.
And that's going to smell so delicious when they first open that and get that waft of all those spices.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's just asking us for those. And that is pretty much it. So you seal the jar on top and that is ready to go. Now what I have done is got these little tags and just popped on here what they need to do. To make the cookies, the temperature the oven needs to be at, and things like that. But that is super cute. Now I'll share with you another one I did where I packed the jar down really tightly because I didn't really pack it down so tightly in the one I've just done with you now. And this one I packed it down really tight and look, I had room to add some little bits of white chocolate on top. So that adds a really nice touch to it. And when you're presenting these gifts or kind of giving them to people, I used this little hack last year, which I got off one of the girls in my team, and I thought it was such a cool idea because everybody has a whole lot of these supermarket bags. So you roll down the sides and fold them over, and then you can pop your gifts in here. I've also got this little whole grain mustard, can pop that in there, and it just looks really cute, nice and sustainable and super easy.
And so cheap too. I'm all over that. Love that idea.
Yeah. And then using up the bags that you keep for a rainy day. Yeah, you can use them. You're welcome.
That's so cool. And I guess you can take that concept of a cookie in a jar and do it with anything. So any flavor, if you want to do Afghans, if you want to do amaretto biscuits, whatever you want to do, even pancake mixes or your dry mixes, you can use that as an idea. So thanks, Lauren. It's gorgeous. Going back to
brownies are a good one too.
Yeah. Going back to Sai. Add spotlight. Oh, no. 1 second, caller. There we go.
Okay, so one thing I love about my Thermomix is obviously my chocolate melted a while ago, but because it's set to 50, it's just sitting there and it's just keeping it nicely warm. I don't have to worry about it. So that's really handy. So I'm just going to stop it. Oh, yum. Smells so good, guys. So the instructions it's asking me to pour my beautifully melted chocolate onto my pre-prepared oven tray. So, yum. So I'm just going to pour that onto the tray. Make sure I get as much out as possible because you don't want to waste chocolate, people. Just too good. There. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm not too fussy about getting everything out, because what I'm actually going to do is shove a bit of milk in here and make a hot chocolate after tonight. So if there's any chocolate left, hey, just reuse it.
I hope you're going to spike that as well, Si, with something.
Oh, I am now. Thanks for the tip.
Of course.
So what I'm doing is just spreading my chocolate around so it's evenly coating my my 30 by 40 tray. Now, you don't want this too thick, guys. If it's too thick, it gets quite hard to bite. So you want to have them nice thin slices. Then all that's remaining for me to do is to sprinkle over my previously chopped cashew nuts, my cranberries, my apricots. And because you get quite a bit of mixture over it, you actually get a really good topping. So all of the chocolate gets nicely covered. Oh, says here, leaving a bit of a lump there. And then once this is done, guys, all you have to do is put this in the fridge. It takes about 2 hours for it to set. And what I like to do, because I like a little bit of a rougher look, all I do is I take it out of the pan and I just snap it into shards. And then you can wrap it up into some cellophane, tie it with a little bit of ribbon, and it looks really nice and it tastes absolutely amazing. Another thing I was going to say to you guys is if you don't like that slightly anisey taste that the anise gives you, leave it out. You don't have to put it in there if you don't want. Or I actually know of someone else who actually puts in a little bit of ginger instead of the anise. She just shoves in about half a teaspoon of ground ginger, and when the chocolate's melting, just give it that little bit of a bite. So here you go. And that there is my fruit anise chocolate bark.
That looks
How
absolutely
easy is that?
delicious, Si, and I hope you are going to share that with your partner as well. I mean,
Hey, I wouldn't go that far.
you don't have to, but I hope you do, because I would want to share that with him as well. So I look forward to seeing what you end up doing with your chocolate and your milk as well. So right now, team, we're going to go all the way up to Manly and Whangaproa and go and visit our friend Claire.
Hi guys, I'm Claire, Thermomix consultant in Manly, as Tamara said. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I joined the business 6 months after buying my Thermomix and fell in love. I pretty much had to switch my diet to gluten-free and dairy-free, my epigenetics, after I had all my profile done, and I got sick of paying through the nose for all the things. So this was just such a game changer for me. But tonight I'm actually doing a peach Bellini, which is an alcoholic cocktail, which is not, I guess, not that healthy. But the great thing with the recipes on Coffee is you can sub out. So actually tonight I'm going to be using sparkling white grape juice instead of sparkling wine. So there's always alternatives. So I'll just put your screen down a little bit. It's a very simple recipe. So we're just going to start cooking. So it's going to ask for 250 grams peaches. So you can do ones from the supermarket, but at the moment I think they're still like $10 a kilo. So I'm just using tin. Save a little bit of money. And it asks for 30 to 50 grams of pasta sugar. So again, you can totally choose how much sugar you want to put in. I'm going to put not a lot, to be honest, because I don't really eat a lot of sugar like Inky, but we'll put a little bit in. I'm going to put the lid on, and that's just going to blend that up for 30 seconds. So I'm going to be muted, and it's at speed 9. So I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Awesome, Claire. So yeah, like you said, you can really alternate the recipe. But yeah, being able to fully adapt the recipe, thank you, darling, to whatever you want it to be. So Claire's used peaches today. There's nothing stopping you using pears or apricots or even pineapple, whatever fruit that you want to use. And like Claire's using sparkling white grape juice today, if you want to use bubbles or Prosecco to do the same thing, you totally can.
Sorry about that, team. So sort of just blended that up. I don't want to chuck it at you, but it's blended it into a nice thick consistency. So it does say at the bottom of the screen if it does need extra time, but I'm quite happy with that consistency. So we're just going to scrape down the sides. Just when you're scraping, do scrape down and try and avoid your blades. And then it's asking for the sparkling white. Uh-oh, I think I fizzed this up. Hang on. No, we're good. We're good. Cool. So I'm just going to pop that in. So I'm just going to pop in the bottom. Could be a lot to drink tonight. That's okay. And then I'm going to put the lid back on. Just remember always to also scrape your lid, because there's there's a whole lot of goodness on there as well. Scrape that down. Put the lid back on. And just going to turn it to speed 4, and that's just going to mix that up for 5 seconds. So it's super quick, super easy, and really great just if you need to do something a little bit extra for Christmas. So, and then it says just to distribute. So, 1 minute. There we go. Just pull that out, and I have to take a sneaky test. That's really yummy. And even being and even being non-alcoholic, it's a really refreshing drink. So, and as you said, you could add other things to it as well, other fruits and stuff, but the recipe is peach. So yeah, on the Christmas list this year, I've got brinjal to make, which is the eggplant chutney. I'm a bit late making that because it does need a bit of time to sit, so I better get on to that one. And our favourite are the crinkle cookies, which I'm actually going to borrow the recipe off Tamara because she's adapted them for gluten-free. So yeah, and some Christmas spice mix as well. It always goes down a treat. So
Nice work, Claire. And I don't know if it was you or another consultant, but did you have some berry liqueur that you've pre-made as well?
yeah, sorry guys, very alcoholic here tonight. Berry liqueur. So this is a really very quick recipe. It uses frozen berries, and it's just really handy to have. They're really cute gifts. I'm actually going to be doing for my other work. I'm just going to I've got about 20 people, and I'm just going to give them a jar of this as a little something, because they're all into their different types of alcohol. So I thought that'd be quite a cute gift.
Nice work, Chick. All right, awesome. We're going to go into the city, into the CBD, and we're going to go visit our Steph Johnstone. Woohoo!
Hi, everyone. Yes, I am right in the CBD. I've been a consultant for nearly 10 years now. I was an early adopter. My sister in Australia had a machine and told me I must get one, and I didn't believe her because she didn't like cooking. And then my dad went over to visit her, and he phoned me, and he said, "You've got to get one of these machines." And to be honest, Dad didn't get excited about anything much apart from rugby and cricket. So I felt like I was being pranked, to be honest. But I went along to a demo, and the person said, "Oh, it would be a good thing to do alongside what I was doing," which is what I did. And here I am, nearly 10 years later, because I love all the different people I get to meet and all the different nationalities. So it's, been a cool journey. Tonight, I can either make the citrus salt or I could do lemon pepper seasoning, which I've never done before. So which do you prefer?
Let's try the one you haven't done before. We're all up for trying new things.
Okay, yeah, let's try the lemon pepper seasoning. Okay, so I've got about 35 things in my list ready for making for Christmas at the moment. So basically you need to just get your zest done, which I did earlier. So if you don't have a not a dehumidifier, a dehydrator, just put it in the oven on the lowest temperature. So I'm going to plonk that in.
Yeah, maybe not.
I've already humidified. Yeah, exactly. I just had the oven on as low as I could for about an hour while I was home. So it's saying 20-second speed 10, but I've done that bit. And now it's saying put it onto the baking tray in a thin layer and dehydrate for 80 to 90 minutes at 40 degrees or until your zest is completely dry. You could just leave it overnight as another option. So now we're just going to add some black peppercorns. So once 60 grams, just tear it I'm intrigued because I've never done the peppercorn thing before. Quite a lot, 60 grams.
There's some really beautiful spice mixes and spice rubs on the Cookie Doo app. So I'm glad we're getting to see a new one tonight as well.
Oh, exactly. I did another one I'll show you afterwards. Bavarian one is often as part of recipes, you discover you're making a lot more than what you need for that recipe. So, you know, you've got heaps to either give away and share or for a later date. So now that's the salt. We've got the lemon zest in there. I fancy adding some chili flakes, so I'm going to add some chili flakes. And it's just 6 seconds, speed 10.
So that's super quick to blend up all of that together. You don't have to get out your bullet or anything to do that. You just do it all in your machine, which is great.
Not going to take a deep whiff, given this pepper, but there you go.
Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah. So what I've discovered is, yeah, this is a bit left over from last year. I did a lemon zest one, and we did rosemary salts last year. So a friend brought around a whole lot of rosemary from their garden. That's easy, rosemary and lemon. You can just get all sorts of blends. Another cool thing is keep all your bottles and things, because this was a sample gin bottle someone gave me. And I did balsamic reduction. That's another good one to do. Another recipe I found on Cookie Doo had herbs de Provence in it. And I didn't know what it was. And I thought, well, there's got to be a recipe. So I Googled it. And my recipe made so much. I've been giving it away left, right, and centre. So sometimes I just put them in these little bags. So I'm thinking I'm going to do porcini salt, rosemary salt, my pepper, lemon, and I can just attach these with a little bit of cardboard on, saying what they all are. Even kept makeup bottles, sesame seeds in there, and little containers, and I've got little ceramic tags saying she made this from my other business, so I can add, you know, to prettify things. And this one's just Dijon mustard from last year I made, so with the little labels. So yeah, it's a cool thing to just, you know, like that Bavarian thing, you can put it on all sorts of meats, vegetables, add it to all sorts of things. So yeah, don't forget to use that sort of thing.
That's fantastic, Steph. And is there a wow dish that you've made since having your Thermomix that you've just been like, I can't believe I've actually done that?
Yes, there is. I had a customer who she said, I need to see the sugar stages because I don't believe it can do it. And she wanted to do hazelnut praline. So she wanted to do this recipe called Paris-Brest, which is named after a cycling race from Paris to Brest in France. And it's a 6-hour, 40-minute recipe. It involves doing creme patisserie, and then you've got to wait 4 hours or overnight. So I did that in advance. Then we made the hazelnut praline, which is so sharp it can cut you, she was saying. And the choux pastry, hazelnut cream, and then we did a glaze on the top. And I don't tend to make a lot of sweet stuff because I don't really want the temptation, but boy, did it taste good. So, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you learn from your customers as well, which is fantastic.
Totally. I from doing cooking demos with all different types of people, like you meet all different religions and cuisines and stuff, so it's really cool to cook their food and actually come across a whole new range of ingredients and flavors. I love that. Steph, did you have a recipe that you've actually uploaded onto Recipe Community too?
Oh yes, I did the herbs de Provence. I put that on there, but I also did I've got a salad which is good for summer, which would be good for Christmas. Really easy to do because basically it's got a layer of hummus hidden on the base of the platter, and then you just put lettuce, you know, pomegranate's got to be there, you know, just cherry tomatoes, just whatever you've got, nice balance of color, and then do a balsamic reduction on top. So you can have done the balsamic reduction in advance of Christmas, and also hummus, which also freezes well if you're traveling. You can freeze it and take it. So yeah, gives you a head start. So don't forget Recipe Community, because you'll find a whole lot more recipes there as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you can't find what you want on Cookie Dough, go have a look in the Recipe Community, and that you will find on the Thermomix website as well. Awesome. We're going to go and check in with Liani and our red onion chutney.
Hello. Hey, guys. So we're finished. It's all ready and hot still. So this is what it looks like. All done. So now it says to, while still warm, transfer to a warm glass jar with airtight lids. So I've got these little jars that I've been sterilizing. So I'm going to pop the lid onto one of these, even though they're a little bit small. I'm going to still give it a go, okay? So I know one of the customers mentioned that before. So you do that for your pastes. You see that? For your paste, use the lid. All right. So I'm going to transfer that. So it says to leave a 5 ml gap at the top, because it's probably going to, while it cools down, expand a little bit. So I might just do it.
And like Inky was mentioning before with the sugar stages, so that is still quite hot and runny. As soon as it starts cooling down, it's going to thicken up really nicely for us as well.
I hope that's 5 ml. So a little bit of 5 ml at the top.
Perfect.
And then it says to put the lid on straight away while it's a bit tight. And then the next stage, make sure the rim of the jar is clean, and then seal immediately. So which I've done. Hopefully the rim is clean. And yeah, that goes in the fridge for how long? Leave to cool completely then to refrigerate for 1 day before serving, and store in the fridge for up to about a month. You could store this. So this would be a great gift. So you can actually start making them now for Christmas, and they should still be all right to go.
Absolutely.
So,
Thank you so much, Liani. We're going to go and see.
I just want to say I made some lemon curd, and that's another great gift. I don't know if we're making it tonight, but also another great gift. You can, this is a big jar, so you can probably fit quite a few in here as well as a little gift. So yeah.
Perfect. And great if you've got lots of lemons and limes or oranges and
eggs,
tree as well.
Sugar.
All right, we're going to shoot back to Simon, because he's actually rustled up a special dish for us all in that time. So one moment.
Hey everybody. Hey, I've been making my hot chocolate. It's just about to finish. So what I basically did, I put in about 2 cups of milk. And as you know, my bowl already had quite a bit of chocolate on it. And I've run my machine at 80 degrees for about 5 minutes, but I've run it at speed 4. And because I run it at speed 4, I'll show you what happens. So first of all, you get a lovely foamy hot chocolate. And second of all, because the milk is going around the bowl, it actually cleans a lot of the chocolate off the bowl as it's going round. So it's really good.
I love
that.
So
here we go.
Another way to clean your bowl, just put milk in it after you've done chocolate, and you don't even have to clean it.
Exactly. I haven't added sugar to this, but by all means, if you're a sweet type of person, look at that, guys. If I was prone to drink, I would probably put, a good shot or 2 of Kahlua in here. But as you know, Tamara, I do not drink, so I will not be doing that.
And you've got your fingers crossed behind your back when you say that, I know.
I was going to say, I'm saying that on camera, my sweet. Our secret.
Awesome, thank you, Sai. We're going to go and check in with Shanaz and see how her nuts are going. Oh, I think you're on mute, darling. Hold on, we've got to unmute you, Shanaz.
Yum.
Shanaz, you're on mute still, darling. You got it.
Okay. So this is how they look once they come out from the oven, and they just taste delicious. In fact, I've been eating some hot cashews while Tamara was waiting for me. And how I would pack them is, if you go to a op shop, local op shop, lots of all these things are available at like $1 or $2. We went to the Totara Hospice farmers market, and we got all these $1 plates. So I'm going to put a cashew nut, like I have packed these of 100 grams in these aluminum foil bags. So I'll pack up my gifts this way in a plate, and then I'm going to put a chutney, and then I'm going to put a peri-peri mix, which is really lovely, friends. and then a korma spice blend, which is one of my very Indian blends, but it makes a good recipe when you make your cashew korma. So definitely try that out, friends. And if you don't want to give a big plate and a small this, then these are some cane baskets, which I originally brought from India because I love these baskets, but I did find them in the $2 shop. So you can either make these kind of baskets and a little big one, small one, whatever you like. And these jars are from warehouse. So this is my peach and mango chutney. So lots of gift ideas. I've got like 23 items on my list, and I've started making 2, 3, 4, 5 things already. So there you go, friends. Wishing you all a Merry Christmas.
Fantastic, guys. So I'm just going to check in with my team. I think we've given everyone a good go. Is anyone, have I missed anyone? I don't think so. I just want to say thank you so much for spending your Wednesday night with us. We've loved having you all on, and this is the biggest virtual cooking demo that I've ever done. So thank you all for being really patient with us. We will send out all the recipes, including the extra ones that we've popped in too, so that you guys can also have inspiration to make stuff at home as well. So if you want any more information about joining the business, get in touch with your consultant. If you don't have a consultant, feel free to reach out to one of us that were on tonight and we can help you out. We've got 36 months interest free, earn 4 still on the table, and the extra bowl blade and lid. You don't want to miss out on these. I hope everyone has a really safe Christmas and New Year. Stay nice and safe on the road, and we will see you in the new year. Thank you so much.